Women in Training Incorporated, or WIT, was started in July 2019 with the mission to help end period poverty. Through WIT, we provide menstrual education programming and donate monthly WIT kits of menstrual, dental, and hygiene supplies to young people who menstruate. To date, we have distributed more than 15,000 monthly WIT kits.
We recently celebrated a major victory with Alabama Governor Kay Ivey signing House Bill 50 into law on April 14, 2022, making us the only 7th state in the U.S. to have a mandate to provide menstrual hygiene products to students at no cost. The law establishes $200,000 in grants to provide free period products to more than 50,000 menstruating students to Title I schools. On June 15, 2022, the Leadership Program of Women in Training took a trip to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where we met our national supporters from the Democratic Women's Caucus, such as elected officials Congresswoman Terry Sewell of Alabama,
Congresswoman Lois Frankel of Florida,
and Congresswoman Grace Meng of New York.
Along with the community at large and corporate partners like Always Brand of Procter & Gamble, where we packed 100 WIT kits for the menstruators at Covenant House of Greater Washington. On this trip, our young leaders had the privilege of touring NASA Goddard Space Flight Center and the honor of meeting Director of Flight Projects Directorate, Cynthia Simmons, who was the first African American and woman ever in her position.
Our group visited the historically Black university, Howard University, where we had a guided tour with a fellow Alabamian and a surprise lesson from a Howard faculty member of molecular biology. We also visited the Natural History Museum, where we learned about our planet's history and its natural world,
and the National Museum of African American History and Culture, where we learned more on the struggles and achievements of African Americans.
On the last day, we attended a performance of the Dance Theater of Harlem at the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, and later that evening, took a boat tour on the Potomac River. Women in Training Incorporated wants to thank the Southern Black Girls and Women's Consortium for sponsoring our trip to D.C.
and for supporting us on our fights to end poverty, period.